えはいつも私の胸になんでだろうあなたを選んだ私ですもう止まらない運命様から決められたけど I believe 真似だけじゃつまらないの You be nice 感じるまま感じることだけをするよ冒険でしょでしょ本当が嘘に変わる世界で夢があるから強くなるのよ誰のためじゃない一緒に来てくださいどこまでの自由な私を見てよね明日過去になった今日の今が奇跡掴もう未来を I believe you
Smooth. 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 Hi, people, and welcome to another exciting episode of Who's That Anime? With your hosts, Colin and Steve. That's Steve.
Hello.
That's Steve.
Pointing in the wrong direction is very easy.
It's not in my room.
Am I doing it the wrong way?
You are.
I'm doing it the right way on my screen, so I'm gonna have to
Yeah, you got to like
point the wrong way on my. Yeah. Nah, fuck that.
breaking my arm for that, like.
Oh dear.
Um,
So. Oh boy. Episodes 5 and 6 for us.
because we're doing the broadcast order. Because
Yep.
why try to make sense of almost a senseless anime in the best of times?
Yeah, it's definitely challenging me. It's been
It's all over the place.
difficult. It is, and I'm not sure that that's 100% because of the episode order. So
I think that's 100% because of the episode order.
I don't know. Like the story itself is pretty much all over the place. Even when I'm jigsawing it back together.
Well, sort of. I mean, like the chronological order has
Mhm.
it where we actually should be watching the Melancholy or Haruhi Suzumiya part 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then jumps onto some other episodes.
Is
after
it?
that. Or is it six?
I thought it was just the. I thought it was all 6 parts.
Well, it was 6 parts actually. You might be right. Might be 6 parts. So we should have probably watched that whole segment of like the anime now, if we weren't jumping from.
I will read what this says. The broadcast order is of interest in particular because of the first season, 2006 episodes, which aired in a garbled order. Many think that this is the way Haruhi is supposed to be watched, because it spices up the show and makes the plot like a jigsaw puzzle. The 2009 episodes, the second season, simply follows after that.
Yeah, spices up. Where are you reading that from?
That was from that post I shared with you, how to watch Haruhi.
Oh God, spices it up.
Because then it does indeed spice it up, and then there's the disappearance of Haruhi.
That's
There's a
not.
thing after that.
I think that's a
a movie?
movie. I think that's a movie they
Yeah.
made.
How about that? So, that being said, we're on episode 5 for us now, which is The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya Part 3.
Yes, part 3.
Part 3.
So let's just recap, because obviously this is a continuing storyline from episode 2 and
3.
2 and 3, was it? They were
Yeah.
side by side.
Yeah, it was. Yep, part 1 and 2 were episodes 2 and 3, and then we
So
went to the baseball diamond.
yeah, and before that we had like that homemade low budget movie.
Yeah, with the whole movie.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's recap. So first part of this sequence of events was pretty much
Mhm.
like how it all started off. It was like how is maybe Keon, the main protagonist person, meets Haruhi Suzumiya in the class, and then who's only interested in meeting aliens, time travelers, and espers.
Yep.
And think everyone else is boring, and therefore he kind of meets her and somehow gets roped into join a club after she gets bored of all that. That's the first episode. Second part of it basically is more molesting,
Getting a computer.
getting a computer, and some members. Well, the members I think were in the first part too. One of the members, Yuki, summons Keon essentially to meet her in the park outside the station,
Mm-hmm.
and then invites her up to her place, and where he finds out that she's technically an alien.
Yep.
There to surveil,
She's
keep an eye on
She's-
Haruhi because she's
yeah,
done something in 3 years ago.
because the planet, her whatever she is, nobody was interested in Earth until Haruhi.
Yeah, until Haruhi somehow did something 3 years prior.
Mm-hmm. 3 years prior.
So crack on to this episode
Mm-hmm.
where basically she goes in depth in what's actually happening. She actually explains it all in this episode.
Yes.
And I missed most of it. It's very much full in depth explanation of what's happening. And then rolls the credits, and then he heads back to the class, and he meets Miru, Mikuru, who's also there after her incident in the second episode, where she's basically
Mm-hmm.
molested by the computer, the computer club, with the help of Hurry. Anyway, and she's there and says, "Yeah, I'm here," and then Harui actually finds the mysterious transfer student that she was talking about.
She does, who we've already met
Yeah,
through watching it in the order we've watched it in.
yeah. Ikisi? What's his name?
Itsuke Koizu. Itsuke Koizumi.
Yeah, Ikisi Koizumi, who is essentially met, is pulled into the club, and he was like, "Oh, right, what you guys do?" And then she declares in full volume of what the actual club's all about: investigating time travelers, aliens, and espers.
Yep.
Uh,
And now everyone in the club actually knows what's going on.
Yep. Yep. Everyone. And then he goes, "All right, I'll join." Type thing.
Yep. Seems quite happy about it.
Yeah, and then they had the first mission in the club at the weekend to go investigate for things because no one's come to them and saying that it was
Yeah, because they haven't received any emails. I believe, which Kieran says, well, that's kind of unsurprising that we haven't received any emails since we didn't know what was going on until you shouted about it right now. So
pretty much.
Yeah.
He's quite accurate in that.
I would argue, however, though, that that they were both Haruhi and Mikuru were both dressed in bunny girl outfits, handing out flyers. So maybe those flyers just said nothing.
I don't know. Maybe she did mention that
Wait,
she's handing the flyers out.
Have we talked about flyers before?
Yes,
I like
there was flyers in Vampire Homes.
that's right. Those, yes, okay. Those, it's my favorite use of flyers ever.
Mm-hmm. Pretty good flyers.
It's a call back to our Vampire Homes bonus episode where the flyers were choice. Is great. Good shit.
Yeah, like they didn't work.
That is the best section, I think, in that whole mess. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's basically what's it? It refers to a line on the page or something.
It says like it's something to do with 30%. He's like, 30% of what? And then he sees a line that's been drawn on the page, and he's like, is 30% reference the percentage of the page that the width of the page that this line takes up? Maybe is that the 30%? And it's just like, this is amazing. Why? Why would it ever be that? Like, why would it ever be that? But I kind of like hope upon hope, dream upon dream, that is in fact why it was 30%.
You can never be too sure.
I can't. I can just hold out hope.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so yeah, they hang out flyers and bunny girl outfits, which much to the teachers discuss, and given Huri detention, I believe that was that was part 2,
episode 2. Yeah,
I think it was episode 2 because it was more use of Mikuru appeal.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, you were right. It's part 2. We shouldn't refer it to as episode 2 because it was technically episode 3. So it was part 2 of the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya.
Yes, because that's what we watched it as.
Yeah.
Because why not? Anyway,
Why not, indeed?
yeah. So he joins and they meet up at the station again, I suppose.
Yep. He parks his bike up.
Yep. And he's late, so he's got a punishment game.
She does say that, well, to be clear, she does start off by saying that I was thinking that, anyone who's late will be punished with death.
Yeah. She hasn't killed anyone yet.
No, it's not quite as extreme as death, fortunately. I think he has to buy them breakfast.
Probably something like that. You always have to buy him some form of food, it seems.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they meet up, and he gets to go and scout the area with Mikuru. Because he draws the short stick or something and teams up Mikuru because he drews straws, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Much to Hari's disgust.
Yep, she's not happy about it.
Nope. Can't be a date type thing. Not right.
No.
So anyway, so they're doing the scouting thing, and then Mikuru comes out and says, "By the way, I'm a time traveler, and we can't go further back than 3 years from now because of Haruhi Suzumiya."
Yeah, she broke something.
Yeah, slightly changed something, so we can't go further back than that. So I'm here to watch over her. As such,
yeah, and he's like, sure, I don't believe any of this. What is it with people saying this weird crap?
Yeah.
He's not. Kyun doesn't really. I don't think, and even at this point, when two people have now announced themselves as one, an alien, and two, a time traveler, he's still not super keen on accepting the idea as fact.
Possibly. Things like that, and then he was asking like, "Oh, so what age are you?" That's like the last line. That's classified.
That's classified. Much like everything
else,
it's classified.
Yeah. Do you know about Yuki? Oh, that's classified.
That's classified. Yeah.
Pretty much everything is classified. But everything.
So yeah, as if by magic, we're on. I mean, we're 5 episodes in now, and as was highlighted in part 1, where Haruhi was like, "Oh, I'm only interested in aliens, time travelers, and espers," and now we realize that she has in her club an alien and a time traveler somehow.
Yeah, yeah. Somehow it got put there.
Somehow,
Yeah. Uh, watch the So they end up meeting up at lunchtime.
yep.
Back at lunchtime to
After
report.
nobody finds anything, nobody
Yeah,
finds any ghosts or anything like that. Even though we have an alien and
a time traveler.
we're not. Oh yeah, we should mention that we're not allowed to tell Haruhi she is what she is,
Yeah,
because that would be bad.
yeah. Well, no one's allowed to say anything. Yeah,
Nope, can't do that.
can't do that. And then they regroup again. She's like, "Oh, we'll regroup this time. Oh, we'll do the straws again." And this time, um, Keon gets paired up
Yuki.
with Yuki now, much to
Yeah,
Harry's disgust.
again.
Again, like literally, she has like weird ass face over it. uh, anyway, yeah. So he goes away with Yuki and takes her to the library because Keon's not taking any of this seriously.
No, none of it.
Yeah, he's like, "Yes, I get to go on a date with Mikuru," and Mikuru's
Yep.
like, "I can't actually be doing this. I'm not allowed to do this crap with you."
Because I'm a time traveler.
Yeah, and then she's just like, "I got to level with you on this fact."
There have been many ways that men have been knocked back in the years, over the years about, asking women out. And I think being a time traveler is probably not high up there. So at least, points for originality.
yeah, points for that. So he's now with Yuki and takes Yuki to the library, who then reads because that's what she does. And doesn't have a library card.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, so he signs her up for a library card.
Well, you should mention, he signs her up for a library card in a mad rush to get back to Haruhi because during the time that they're in the library, he falls asleep and, misses the time when he's supposed to meet back up with everyone, and she's really not happy.
Yep, punishment.
Yeah, punishment, but does in fact answer the phone like, "What is it? You've just woken me up." And she's like, "What do you mean you just woke up?
Yeah.
You're supposed to be back here at 4 o'clock. You better be back here in the next 30 seconds, otherwise, punishment." And then it's like, "Oh yeah, we gotta get Yuki, we gotta go." But then Yuki doesn't, she's like, "But these books, and also, I don't have a library card." It's like, what the fuck is going on here?
So yeah, setting her up with library cards.
Yep.
So that was a bust the weekend.
And punishment was dinner. So all he's done is basically pay out for food the whole day.
I think that's what his character arc is.
It's sort of his punishment as a character, I feel, at this point.
Yeah. So then he's also pissed her off because she doesn't appear next day at the club. Even though she was at school, giving them shit in the class. And then he goes and talks to Kizuki.
It's Itsuki.
Itsuki. Yeah.
Itsuki, and it's Koizumi.
Koizumi. Yeah, so he goes and speaks to him because he goes, "So I kind of want to speak to you because I figure you're going to be like some more weird mystery to this puzzle." So they go out and have a coffee, and he goes, "Yep, I'm pretty much an esper, and I'm in this organization, and
of other espers."
Yeah, of all other espers who all got their power 3 years ago. All thanks
Same
to
as him.
Yeah, all thanks to Haruhi Suzumiya. Or at least they think it is.
Oh god.
And he says, I didn't think I'd be transferred to the school so soon.
Yep. But here I am.
Yeah. But you can't use his powers unless it's in certain circumstances.
He's also not clear about what his powers are, though.
No. And he says that he'll show him at some point soon.
Yeah. It's and then we've perfected it. We've got the trifecta now. We've got Alien, Time Traveler, and Esper, who have all magically been pulled together in a club with Haruhi, who's the reason that all of those three are even there in the first place. So I think that the inference seems to be that she has willed reality.
Yeah. So people believe she has the power to will reality and form things.
Yep.
Kuzumi, I'm going to call him by his last name, is believes she's technically what you would be best referred to as a god.
Yeah.
But she doesn't know, and you can't tell her.
No, don't tell her.
Don't tell her that.
For goodness sake, don't tell her.
Don't.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the episode, isn't it?
That's pretty much the episode. It's just all.
You missed out the bit where Kyon has his bike stolen. It's impounded.
Oh,
because it was chained to a thing it shouldn't have been chained to. So on top of having to pay for breakfast and dinner, he also had to go and pay to get his bike out of the impound.
or did he?
Well, he had to go and get his bike out of the impound. One way or another, it would seem.
He certainly had to. Didn't have a bike at the end of his weekend. Yeah.
Okay. How did you rate this one then?
Well, it's kind of like just like the, should be the first episodes, essentially, just introducing all the characters and getting you to know what they are, how it's all forming, and what's the whole show's about, type thing.
Yep.
And it's doing that. It's good in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
There's a good few funny bits in it. More serious this one. Over funny though. I don't know, I'll give it maybe a 7. Oh, you're shit.
Same as the baseball one. I am going to stick with 6. So we're on an even keel. My interest is now peaked. I'm curious about what the hell's going on now as we start to unfold the pieces of information that I kind of understand, but also don't understand. Because it's operating at a level far above where I'm operating at when I'm watching it.
Yeah, it is. It's a deep anime, man.
Yeah. So, as with the broadcast order, we then don't jump on to part 4. We jump on to a new part 1 of a 2-part episode series. So today's last episode is Remote Island Syndrome, part 1.
Yes.
Spoiler alert, I love this episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
This is some fucking Hardy Boys, the Hardy Brothers, or whatever they're called, the famous 5, whatever they were.
Oh yeah.
Bullshit. In the best way possible.
I suppose, yeah, it's certainly, so it's basically sets out, it's now summer, essentially.
Yep.
They had their exams.
Yep.
Which Keon didn't have good results, it seems.
He did not.
Black Monday, it's apparently known as.
I love the fact they throw that little reference in there. It's like, okay, yep, it's a bad day for you. I get it.
Yeah, well, I think it might be a bad day for all. That's the time to get the results. Yeah, so Kizon, Kazuki,
Keon,
not Keon.
or which one?
Iku thingy.
Itsuke Koizumi.
Yeah, Koizumi. Basically says, you know what would be a good idea? Let's go on this island to my rich relative's island, who's just built a mansion on it as a
Yeah,
holiday.
this is right. So this is a ploy, right?
Possibly, yeah.
So I am very confused about this because one of two things is going on here. One is that Koizumi just happens to have access to something that he knows will be interesting to Harui, so therefore making sure she's still happy, which is basically what they're there for at this point, it seems, is just to make sure that she doesn't get bored, because God help them if she gets bored. Or did she just create it out of her mindscape whole cloth in order for it to happen?
Possibly. Who knows?
Because he's not sure. He is so kind of not 100% sure of what the fuck is going on in any way in that episode, really, even though he's the one in charge.
Yeah, he certainly was like, oh, we can do this, and but Hurry can easily just like will shit into place.
Well, so there were and I don't know if these are clues or if I may be reading too much into this. There are a couple of examples that I think is quite interesting, and one is when Harui is asking him how quickly they will be there, and he says, so it's like a 6-hour boat journey to get there, and then there's like a little bit of travel, and then there's another hour on another boat to get to the island. She's like, oh, okay. And then when they get to the point where they're getting to the other boat, it's not another hour, it's a half hour.
Ah, okay, yeah.
So it's like her impatience created a shorter journey, maybe. And also, there's the introduction of other things that Koizumi could have said at any point, but doesn't until it makes it potentially more interesting and mysterious for the story.
Like the other person on the island.
Yeah, is it the younger brother of the homeowner?
Possibly, yeah.
And also, the homeowner was going to be there the whole time, which was definitely not clear.
And beforehand, yeah. So let's get back to the start of the episode, essentially where it all starts to get laid in on it. So Kion's talking to Kozumi.
Yeah.
Essentially, this is a ploy, right? Says no, nothing like that. And then they're on the boat talking about it and saying, "Oh, it's going to be like closed. Was it closed circle?"
It's a closed circle.
Yeah. So they're talking. Oh, this is a potential place where a closed circle can happen, and murder, mystery, and shit can happen. All, and this is what Haruhi Suzumiya has been talking about. That's not my
She
words.
lives for this shit. She
Yeah.
lives for this shit.
Yeah.
And yet, here it is, happening for her right now.
Yeah.
Coincidentally. I don't know.
And Kion's little sisters in this one.
She is.
She tries.
In a very hilarious way.
she tried to stow away in his luggage.
But she did. She was successful, was she not?
No, he found out when he tried to lift the bag, and then he opened it, and then she kind of pulled in her bottom eyelid and made the anime face of pulling in the bottom eyelid and sticking the tongue out. Oh.
I don't know why in my mind it was he didn't notice that the bag was really heavy until he was on the boat.
No.
Which makes no sense, actually, now that I think about it. So I'm glad we've discussed this.
He wasn't able to lift it. Anyway, and they're playing lots of games. Old Maid, I think, is one of them, where he says, "Loser of this game buys lunch."
Yeah.
Or drinks.
She says something, and he's like, "That's not even possible. We're playing Old Maid."
Yeah.
Kyun seems like obviously like there's a bit of a jump in terms of the story here because there's things that happen in between this and what the episode we just watched before, but he seems far more vocal about his disapproval of how she behaves.
I suppose he's a bit more, yeah, than he was always quite vocal against.
But he was vocal in I suppose sort of a constructive way, like where he was like questioning it. But now he just like voices disapproval. He just doesn't like things. So like whether it's because he's experienced bad exams or whatever, or if it's just so much bad shit has happened between like wherever we were and where we are now that he's just like, I'm not taking any more of your shit. Like I don't care if I have to keep you happy or not. You are a pain in the ass. I think he kind of hates her.
Hates her in a loving way.
Yes, but there's a strong dislike for her behavior and general demeanor in this episode, on quite a consistent basis. He gets annoyed with everything she does in this one.
Yeah, I think there's, like you say, there's stuff that we've not seen yet.
But this is the start of it. Is like the playing cards bit. He's getting really annoyed at her because she's talking about like how she's going to win, and loser has to buy this, and loser has to buy a drink, and he's like, "Wait, what are we even talking about?" She's like, "I'll have 100% fruit juice," and just starts shouting about what she's going to have when she. It's like, what is why?
Yeah.
Why are you like this?
And then Kyoto, who's like the second last person, states, I can have this. And he says, "You're not even won yet."
Yeah,
I'm not lost yet.
He's like, "Oh, but I think I will. I think this is fine."
Yeah, pretty much. And lo and behold, he on the lose.
Yep, pays out for drinks.
Yep. That's about it, really. That's about the whole boat ride. Well, like you say,
Yeah, the boat journey is
reached the
relatively
island,
uneventful.
introduced the butler and the maid.
Yep.
And Harry starts interrogating the maid.
Yep.
About like, is it's like old is the mansion built on an old burial ground and stuff like that? Well, maybe not like that,
But yes, is it haunted? Are there any weird goings on? Has anyone ever been killed?
And they said no.
No. The butler's slightly more forgiving of her questioning. Is it the butler? There's a bit where no, I think it is. Because he's like, no, nothing like that's ever happened, but I guess it could, or something like that.
Yeah, he's a bit more.
he's not like throwing it out whole cloth. He's just like, yeah, I guess it could happen, maybe. Like it probably won't, but never say never.
Never say never. Yeah, I think the butler's in on it.
Well, in on what?
In on it. So they get to the mansion, and in the mansion they meet the house owner.
Yeah, while they're on the boat, they're told that, oh, by the way, someone else is going to be there, and it's I think, like we said, it's the I'm pretty sure it's the younger brother of the homeowner.
Something like that, yeah. It was he was there at the dock, tied up the boat. That's why they mentioned it.
Yes.
It's like, who's that?
Yeah.
It's not the homeowner. He's too young.
Yep.
I was like, yeah, that's
too young.
It's not.
He's like, yes, I should probably mention that he's going to be there. It's like, well, that would have been good to know.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that's why I say, like, something funny about that to me.
Yeah. And the mansion's not old and creepy. It was literally just finished like the day before they arrived.
Yeah. The homeowner meets them at the door, and they should come in. It's a Western-style mansion, so they don't need to take their shoes off.
Yes. And he also was warned about Huri and how upfront she can be. But she was being very nice.
After being on the receiving end of her really nice behavior.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, this isn't at all the person I expected.
Yeah. And then like, aha, well then, has there been any murders in this mansion? And she just rattles off the questions again.
He's like, yeah, that's more what I expected. Please, come in.
Works. And he goes, no, the mansion was only completed yesterday.
So they come in, they get some nice food,
Mm-hmm.
which is cooked by the butler.
Yeah, well, I think that's after. They have like a hang around the beach. Had the
Oh, I thought there was a breakfast, but no, you're right. They do. They have a beach day,
They have the beach day when they get there. You know, just for the
obligatory beach day, to make sure that it's possible to see as many of the anime ladies in swimsuits as possible.
yes, and jiggling about
Yes.
all of them. Except I don't think Yuki was.
No, I did enjoy that sequence because literally every time Yuki was involved in in anything they were doing, she was reading. Like she's like on the back of a jet ski, like being towed about by a rubber on one of those rubber rings, and she's like reading a book, or she's like on the jet ski reading a book. It was just very on point for her character. I quite like that.
Yeah, that's right. She was just holding one hand and reading the book.
It was pretty good.
It's like,
So yeah, they have
I
a
need
good
to read
day.
book.
Yeah, I got to read a book in all situations. Seems like they had a pretty good day out on the beach.
Mhm.
And this is when they come back and they have their kind of big dinner type thing, where Haruhi is exceptionally complimentary of all the food.
Yeah, it's great.
And says she wishes that the school cafeteria would have food like this.
Find
Which
out
is
after summer.
A curious thing to say. It's a curious thing to say, though, right?
Yeah, to a degree, I suppose.
Well, but why immediately compare it to the food that you're eating at the school and not the food you're eating at home?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, I suppose because she's eating with her friends. And
I don't know. Again, like these, to me, this anime is hinting at something a lot deeper. That seemed like a suspicious thing to say to me. Like, I don't really have a home. Because we've never seen her at home.
no, she's always just been at the school.
Yeah. I don't know. Something about that stuck with me, among other things in this episode.
Yeah, you're getting sleuthing lots into this one.
Well, I think it almost seems like it's the point of the episode to a degree.
Very much so, since she's a super sleuth.
She is. In fact, we should have mentioned, I suppose, at the start, due to Koizumi's great suggestion and ability to give them access to a secluded mansion in a closed circle for 3 days, or however long it is. So is it 3 days, 3 nights, 4 days, or whatever? He gets promoted to vice president of the SOS Brigade, which Kyun is not hugely happy about. He's like, am I jealous about this? Am I? It shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Maybe I am.
Yeah, he's just an emotional husk.
Yeah. And that's when she announces herself as like, I already have my title for this excursion. And it says, like, her shows in her band that says Super Sleuth.
Yeah.
So good.
Yes. Yeah, so back in the island, they do other nightly fireworks stuff. Kyonya blows his head off.
That's right.
Because
Kyon nearly dies.
he looks at a firework. So, is it lit? Is it going off? That's
And
how
they
you
all
die,
laugh.
kids.
They all immediately laugh at him.
Sounds kind of
They
an
don't,
idiot.
they don't check on him. They're just like, ha ha ha.
Haha, yeah. Well, that's it. That's the whole fun of fireworks. Looking down
Oh, God.
lit fireworks. Don't do that at home, kids. It's bad for you.
No.
It's very bad.
That's a no-no. But yeah, they seem to be enjoying themselves with their their illegal fireworks potentially. I don't know, at the on the beach at night, and then they get back through to kind of enjoy themselves in the house and kind of like play sleepover games and stuff like that.
Yeah, Hurry gets a king.
She's the king because she chose the whatever you call it, the toothpick with a crown on it.
Yeah, the stick with the crown. And she orders number 2 with the Yuki to sit away and turn around and say, I love you. And Yuki is even more emotionless than Kion. And goes, I love you.
It's so good. And she's like, no, you need to have emotion. And she's like, do it again. I love you. Oh, somebody show her how to do this. And then she gets Kyon to try. And just as he's about to do it, she just interrupts and says, I don't care, or something like that.
I think it's psych.
Oh, that's it.
Psych.
It's like, yeah, no, didn't really want you to do that.
And they got so it kind of rolls on, and Mikuru is saying it. And
Yep.
They're playing. He's playing cards with Izuki and complaining about the dealer.
Yep. In a 2-player card game.
Yeah. It's like, who dealt these cards?
He's either complaining about himself or Koizumi. One of the two.
Yeah.
I suppose we should have said, yeah, at dinner as well, like the is it at dinner? Yeah. The owner of the house just kind of is like, oh, I have some work to do.
No.
You know, enjoy your evening.
No, that's next.
Is that not that bit?
Oh, actually, shit, that might be that bit. Because that would be the bit.
Because it's the morning after is when they wake up to the situation.
No. We jumped ahead too far. So
Did we?
yeah.
Oh, it's rainy the second day.
Yeah, so the second day they get up, have breakfast, and the butler comes in. Don't mind the master, he won't join you for breakfast, he's not a morning person. And also he's
You're right.
being quite a mood in the morning. It's what he says.
He's a dick in the morning.
Pretty much, yeah. But then a typhoon hits, and they can't go outside, so that they're stuck in this mansion. And it's like, wait, this isn't reported. How does this happen? And then Kion blames Haruhi.
Yeah, quite rightly. It's probably her.
Yeah, probably. Or just maybe all the weather forecasts are controlled by the organization.
Well, there's some sort of conspiracy going on here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so they're basically just playing the games hall. Pool,
yes,
billiards, mahjong, and stuff like that.
That's when he fucks off, isn't it?
Yeah, he comes in, sits down, reads his notepad, and is like, I need to go do some work, and then walks away.
Yep. And then they go and have their night of amusement and doing stuff.
Hilarity. And
yep, lots of junk food, lots of fizzy drinks.
Yeah, and Harry gets up in the morning, steals all the pillows in the second floor for a pillow fight.
This leads to one of my favourite scenes in the entire thing we've watched so far, which is the poor butler and like coming to the door and getting a pillow full force to the face and doesn't even flinch.
Not like Kion who fell over. How much energy do you have? She's been up all night.
Yeah, did she have all the energy to go and get all the pillows? She probably hasn't slept yet.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, that was pretty good. I enjoyed the butler getting hit in the face. She's like, oh, sorry about that.
And he's like, don't worry about it.
Don't worry. We have other problems. This is where he comes through to sort of announce the situation that they've woken up to that morning, which is that the owner of the house, after having left at that time yesterday, went up to work and hasn't been seen since, and is not, he's not there, basically. And the younger brother, he went to check on him to see if he'd heard anything, and noticed that his bed hasn't been slept in the previous night, and is not answering his phone.
Oh, is that what happened? I thought it was talking about the owner not slept in his bed.
Well, you wouldn't have been able to know, would he? Because the room was shut.
Oh yeah, his quarters is locked, and
his quarters are locked. Yeah, so he couldn't check, which is why he came to talk to them to see if they had noticed anything. And of course, at this point, they're like, well, that sounds like a mystery that we need to be involved in.
Yep.
And they immediately just bolt upstairs, except little sister, who gets to hang about in the room while they go and deal with it.
Yes. You stay there, little sister. As Haruhi bolts up the stairs and is first and stops on the.
Yep.
As
Why does she stop?
she gets nervous.
Why does she get nervous?
Because this is what she wants.
Is it because she knows she's caused what she wants?
Possibly. Or have a theory.
Well, everybody else barrels ahead, and of course they try to, knock on the door, but nobody's answering. And of course they want to make sure that nothing untoward has gone on, and make sure he's okay, or that he's maybe not in there. So they're like, well, we're gonna have to knock this door down. So Koizumi, the butler, and Kyun all shoulder barge the door open. While Kyun laments, he's like, oh, I didn't think they did this in real life. This is just for TV and movies, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah, this is a movie thing.
And then they break the door down and all fall in, basically.
Oh, talking about doors and being locked and all that. It was mentioned when they entered that all the doors are locked, but not
They
on
do have
automatic
locked.
locks.
Yes, that is mentioned. That is a clue.
That is a weird.
They have to be manually locked.
Yeah, everything should be manually locked.
Which means that the door they've just broken down had to be locked from the inside.
Yeah, or at least locked.
Or locked back up, I guess, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so they brought down the door
They have.
successfully. And then
shit gets real.
he's alive. He's not dead.
No. Is he?
He's totally alive.
Is he?
He's totally alive because the dagger has been punctured with enough force to go through his notebook into his chest.
So the guy's been stabbed.
Yeah, he got stabbed. Through his notebook.
And he's lying on the ground with a lot of blood.
Oh, no, that's just a red carpet, wasn't it?
Oh, well, maybe. But there's blood anyway. He is bleeding.
There's some blood seeping out this lapel pocket where his notebook was kept.
As you said, yeah. So,
I don't think
of course, everyone is very shocked.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the end of the episode.
That's the dum dum dum.
Yeah. It ends in an abrupt way. So yeah. What did you think of this one?
That was good. Got some murdering intrigueness and the cliffhanger, and I can't fault Masami and Hurry being more overexcited, and less molesting than Miruki. Oh God. Mikuru. I'll get there in the end, guys. Maybe.
Well, you just have a quota to get one name per episode correct.
I've got Hurry.
Exactly.
There you go. That's all I need.
You're meeting the quota.
It's not the reason I can read it off the screen.
So what do you rate it?
I suppose it's leading up to something. I'm not really a big fan of murder mysteries, stuff like that. I'll go with 7. It's solid in storytelling and everything, and dropping hints about what's happening and things. Just see how it's going to take it in the second part.
I love this one. This is my favorite one so far. Because it is, and I can see like why this is it. So the broadcast order is obviously different from the chronological order, but I feel like this is the episode where it becomes apparent that there's a pattern of stuff that you can fill in, or it's intriguing to try and talk about it because you don't know whether it's the case or not that whatever she is either taking control of the situation or is making things happen, or is it people trying to influence her into, not ending the world or whatever it is that she's capable of, like. And yeah, I think the humor in this one was relatively on point, and overall, like a pretty interesting theme for me. So I'm gonna give this one an 8.
Oh, go for an 8. Yeah, it's
So we've jumped right up.
It's a good episode to essentially provide the fan service that you get. Like I was saying about Ghost Stories, they didn't have a beach episode for some reason.
Yeah, that's very true. They didn't.
But this one, there you go. This is the token beach episode.
Yeah, they had that shitty episode in the snow instead.
Yeah, when they go out of the town.
Oh man. Well, that's the two we're going to discuss today, and then next up in the broadcast order, we're not even going to get straight on to part 2 of this murder mystery. We're going to have to watch another episode first. And then we get to part 2 of the murder mystery.
What's the next 2 episodes?
So the next 2 episodes are the Mystérique sign. And then the next one after that, episode 8, is Remote Island Syndrome Part 2.
Wait, what? It's not even one of the other 3 parts of the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya.
So, let me just tell you, right?
Mm-hmm. Let me just lay it down flat. This is how it's going to be.
So we're going to be watching, the next episodes we watch are episodes 7 and 8 for us. The next time we watch any of the episodes titled The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, part 4 is episode 10.
Okay.
And parts 5 and 6 are episodes 13 and 14.
I don't even understand why they broadcast in that order.
Nope. I'm starting to feel like there's a little something to this where they were trying to, like, who knows if they were even going to get a second season maybe at this point. It's like, it's almost like they wanted to try and deliver it with a bit of intrigue where you could make some guesses and things like that.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me about I was watching a video about some. It was some show. It wasn't animated, and it was essentially like a show that was meant to basically be filmed from surveillance cameras in a house.
Oh, okay.
And it just like had all these lots of twists and turns in it and all that.
That sounds right.
Yeah, it's meant to be quite enthralling, and you have to do like proper mystery guided tours, and there's like a lot of hints into it and how to get things, and you had to go to like a website and work out stuff from a website and stuff. There's like hidden messages all the way through the series.
ARGs, man.
Yeah, that's pretty hardcore Discovery stuff, man.
Crazy.
Can't remember what it's called.
Well, you'll need to remind me or tell me once you do figure it out. I'd be curious to look into that.
Yeah, it was a guy reviewing it on YouTube that picked up on it.
Well, I can't wait to actually talk about the conclusion to the murder mystery. Hopefully there is one in the part 2.
No, if you just click your fingers and it all goes back to normal.
I'd almost believe that at this point.
To be honest, I'm kind of looking forward to the end of like the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, because there was a hint in one of the episodes that watched, the baseball one, that Kyo Haru gets put into another world.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm thinking that baseball one was running after in chronological order. I think that ran after the all those 6 parts.
It did.
So it would be referring to that.
Yep. Interestingly, yeah, that is interesting. Okay, yeah, so it would be it would be the 7th episode, the one where they play baseball.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, also, I think from what I watched of the Endless Ache, by watch, I mean watch that YouTube channel that's discussing it, that Red Brad thing.
Mhm.
I think it looked like it was doing a weird continuation of like part 3, Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya
Oh,
part 3, when they get in a time loop. I think is the premise.
that's interesting.
It might be that one. I could be wrong. Could be like a different day with similar things.
Well, interesting nonetheless.
We'll find out at some point in the future.
Yeah, next time.
Next time
Hopefully not too long.
on who's that anime?
Yep. We are currently coming to your ears either through podcast, which you can find at anchor.fm.
Mhm.
We sometimes live stream episodes through twitch.tv/couchfuel, so you can sometimes find our videos there. We're probably going to be uploading. We'd hoped to upload videos to Twitch, but that doesn't seem like that's going to happen. So we're probably going to do them through YouTube anyway. But we will keep you up to date on what that is when that happens. There's a Facebook page that you can join us, just on facebook.com. Search for Who's That Anime. We post new episode releases, shitty anime memes, and sometimes talk about the shows we're watching. That's kind of what we do. Colin also plays games on a Monday night sometimes at twitch.tv/couchfuel. So you can join in there, or you can find Couchfuel again for other things on youtube.com, where there's a back catalogue of all the live streams from Twitch as well.
Yeah, things that we done together, like Nightmare, Couchfield Nightmare.
Yeah, we played Resident Evil with a blindfold on, which is maybe the greatest idea ever.
It is
to this day still.
We need to get that back on and not be so stressed out.
Need to do that with Resident Evil Village.
Oh Jesus, man!
that would probably be exceptionally stressful, but
you played the demo of that yet?
I have not. I probably will. No. You know what? I probably won't. I think I'm just gonna go and get it at some point soon. Yeah, I do need to. I also need to figure out my my game capture situation with my Series X, because it's still not a thing I can do right now. So,
which
is a bit of a bummer. Fixed the audio issue I was having, but yeah, that is still a bit of a problem. So,
yeah,
I'll figure that out eventually, I guess.
What channel are you plugging?
Oh, I'm on. What am I on? Twitch.tv/HailPaimon. That's HailPaimon. I sometimes play horror games and stuff, so that's a thing I also do.
Yeah.
Please feel free to join in.
You ever create a YouTube channel for it, Ryan?
I do have one, but I don't have anything on it other than the back. I'm on YouTube. You can find me on YouTube as well. That's the thing that's there. Just again, search Hail Paimon.
Yeah, YouTube is there.
It is. It never leaves.
Never leaves. Not since it was created. Yeah, by Haruhi Suzumiya. Jesus. Yeah, Jesus.
So close.
She's pretty much Jesus.
She's basically Jesus. Or God.
Or God, yeah. Depending on what religion you believe in.
No.
No, well, if you're Islamic, Jesus is just a prophet.
That's true.
And I think in Jews, if you're a Jew, he was the son of God, but isn't God.
Not gonna lie, I'm not very religious, so
Nor am
I
I.
just know Jesus is the Son of God
In the Christianity world, at least.
and a carpenter.
Yeah, son of the carpenter.
He was a carpenter too, though, right? Was that not a thing?
He might have been a carpenter. His dad was. I'm sure he'd been raised to the trade. Anyway, yeah.
Join us next week for Biblecast, where we're gonna talk about the New Testament.
No, talk about the Old Testament. That's more interesting.
You're right. It is more interesting, but there's 100% less Jesus. So
Yeah, but 100% more wrong in the world.
there's a dragon with like a load of heads in the Old Testament.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Wait, why did God create a dragon?
I don't know.
Or is that just like a devil of some sort?
It's probably a metaphor.
Or is it not just came from like the Hydra from Greek mythology?
No, that would never be a thing. They would never steal.
Never steal or convert whole special days to their own religion. Never. Anyway, let's not talk about how basically religion is just something that you believe. Your beliefs are yours. It's fine.
Yep.
Don't hate us.
Don't hate me for my ignorance.
Yeah. Well, I'll try and dig myself out the hole that I just dug.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
It's okay.
Just move past it. Just move past it.
Yeah, we can just cut this out.
Just edit it in post.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I'll just cut all this crap out, and we'll just go straight to bye.
All right. Yes. So this has been Who's That Anime with your hosts Colin and Steve.
See you next time, folks.
See you next time.
Why me?
I am the king! Okay, number 2! You have to turn around, look back at us, and say, I love you! Who has number 2? I love you. No, not like that, Yuki! You have to say it with more feeling, alright? I love you. Go on, Kyone, show her how to do it.
Why do I have to?
It doesn't matter why. It's the king's orders, okay?
I love... Selfish king.